Mars is our neighbor, but it's hiding a disturbing reality that defies every official narrative we've been fed. Most people look at these images and see just rock, but the sheer volume of impossible features appearing in plain sight has reached a breaking point. Today, we're moving past the random erosion theory to conduct a deep analysis of anomalous clusters, geometric structures, and mechanical-looking fragments with such precise, angular symmetry that nature is no longer a logical explanation. Prepare to see a version of the red planet that defies every law of planetary geology. Let's examine this image, captured by the Mars rover Perseverance on Sol 763. At first glance, it appears to be a standard regolith field, a landscape common to both Mars and Earth's ancient riverbeds. In these environments, we expect to see clastic rocks, fragments shaped by billions of years of hydraulic action and siltation, which typically produce rounded, smoothed edges. This is precisely what we observe here. A landscape scattered with rounded, smooth rocks. At this stage, the scene appears entirely normal and aligns perfectly with our geological expectations. However, as we scan the field, we encounter several geometric outliers that defy standard erosional models. While water and wind are chaotic artists, the features highlighted here exhibit a degree of structural precision that is difficult to reconcile with random weathering. Let's examine these anomalies in detail. You may be surprised to find these features resting in plain sight on the Martian surface, completely exposed. And here is the first one. Zooming in introduces significant pixelation, yet the rectangular feature on the left side of this large block remains distinct. We can agree these are rocks and stones. However, the geometry observed here is not representative of what we expect from Martian erosion. While wind, ancient water, and solar radiation are powerful forces, they rarely, if ever, produce such precise right angles. Let's move forward and see what else we can find in this field. Here you can immediately see a strange, carved, circular feature on the rock, indicated by the arrow. It resembles an etched circle with a protrusion in the center. Once again, it is difficult to see how wind or water could produce this specific geometry. Given the precision, one might consider that if natural erosion did not create this carving, another force may have been at play. While this is not definitive evidence, we can certainly propose the hypothesis based on the visual data before us. Directly adjacent to this perfectly circular carving lies another remarkable object. Have you ever encountered anything similar on Earth? Please share your experiences in the comments if you've found similar rock formations elsewhere. Let's zoom in, as I really want to show you this incredible rock. Yeah, we can call this a rock, a stone, a pebble. I agree on that, maybe. But honestly, the image reveals an object that stands in stark contrast to the surrounding natural debris. It features a bulbous, rounded upper portion that terminates in a strikingly linear, horizontal ridge. Below this ridge, the object transitions into a series of indented, regular grooves that almost resemble the teeth of a gear or a notched mechanical component. This combination of a smooth, spherical crown juxtaposed with such repetitive, angular underside details creates a silhouette that feels distinctly out of place in a field of random geological weathering. By adjusting the image contrast, the structure becomes even more apparent, confirming a shape that is both bizarre and entirely out of place. I wish I could offer a conventional geological explanation, but I simply cannot. For me, discovering features like this on the Martian surface is truly mind-blowing and incredibly exciting. We are far from finished with this fascinating area of Mars. This site is teeming with anomalies called artifacts, or outliers that simply don't fit the standard Martian erosion model. Before we dive into the next incredible find, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Mars Data Archive if you love discovering these amazing mysteries on the Martian surface. Let's zoom back out and track down our next geological mystery. It's tucked away right here, incredibly small, discreet, and almost impossible to spot. But there it is. It is truly breathtaking how something so tiny can be so spectacular. Finding such a delicate in this vast alien wilderness is an absolute thrill, and it leaves me completely speechless. And once again, the shape does not match erosion model. It features a smooth, shallow bowl or concave basin that looks strikingly uniform. But did you notice the most incredible part? The regular, notched indentations along its lower edge. These look less like natural erosion and more like a structured, mechanical rim. In a world shaped by chaotic wind and sand, seeing such repetitive, circular precision is absolutely mind-blowing. It's a total outlier sitting quietly in the Martian dust, and it defies every standard model of natural weathering. What surprises me most, and what should really make you think, is the density of these artifacts. Such a tiny area. It's honestly mind-blowing. The scene reminds me of a debris field from a crash site, where fragments are scattered miles from the point of impact. We're seeing a similar pattern here, a concentration of strange, geometrically impossible objects scattered across a single patch of Martian soil. It truly feels like we're looking at a field of ruins. This frame presents yet another geometric outlier that feels entirely alien to its surroundings. To the right, we see a massive, slab-like block characterized by a sharp, linear edge and a remarkably flat upper surface. It almost looks like a structural fragment, a thick, rectangular plate resting heavily in the sand. Directly adjacent to it is a smoother, dome-shaped stone, creating a contrast that highlights the slab's unnaturally straight lines. In a landscape defined by billions of years of random weathering, seeing such a thick, uniform shelf among the rubble is enough to make anyone pause. It fits perfectly into this field of ruins we've been uncovering. And the next area is even more interesting. Let's have a look. Take a look at these 4 distinct areas I've highlighted with arrows. Each one possesses a very specific, almost haunting set of characteristics that defy the surrounding landscape. We'll begin our analysis with the anomaly in the upper right quadrant. Notice how it immediately breaks the visual pattern of the regolith. Just behind the light-colored foreground rock, we find this incredibly dark, almost black specimen that demands immediate attention. What makes it so compelling is the sharp, angular geometry of its upper edge. It features a distinct, sloping surface that meets a flat side at a very clean angle, almost resembling a fragmented block, rather than a natural, wind-worn stone. This dark material provides a striking contrast against the red Martian sand, highlighting its peculiar, non-random shape. It's yet another piece of this puzzle that simply shouldn't look this structured. This anomaly stands out with a shocking hexagonal, faceted structure that defies typical Martian erosion. Instead of random jagged edges, we see flat, intentional surfaces and tiered layers, creating a stepped pyramidal shape. It looks less like a rock and more like a precision-engineered architectural fragment. Most incredible is the perfectly carved circle etched into its face. This precise, recessed indentation has a clean circumference and a defined rim, resembling a mechanical socket or seal. Finding such geometric perfection centered on a faceted stone completely shatters the idea of natural weathering. It feels like we're looking at a genuine ancient relic. Thanks for watching. We've only scratched the surface of these incredible discoveries, So stay tuned, there's so much more to come from the Mars Data Archive.